On today's Creative Cabin Fever, I'm joined by Tuath. So we're going to talk about all things them, how they got together, what's going on in their camp, and all the funny, hilarious things they've been doing together. They're really good at getting the content out there. They have really creative, interesting ideas. And I'm here with Rob and Ashley. How are we?
Very
Hello.
frustrated at technology. Like that. But it's good.
Yeah, look, technology is nobody's friend sometimes. And then at the same time, it's the only thing that's able to allow us to connect and meet up in these moments. So it's a very hard line to toe. It's like, I hate technology. I love technology. I hate technology.
Yeah. It's so annoying. Oh, Jesus. We're just plagued with it at the moment. We're too cheap to get a good internet connection up here. So actually, I got denied a contract because I was in debt. And they did a credit check on me. So that's why I have shit internet, really. So, yeah. Hello?
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. We got to live with the technology we have.
Absolutely.
It's not perfect, but it's okay.
We rely so much on technology that when Ashley's computer crashed, the band was fried for 4 days and we couldn't do anything.
Oh god, yeah, that was a nightmare. Like so much of like the backing tracks and the synths were all on my laptop, and my computer just died. My C drive just died, and then we couldn't do anything. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. That was a stressful time. There's a lot of heightened tensions in our band because I'm a dick and and sometimes I would be very emotionally childish sometimes, and I have outbursts that would make you very embarrassed if you saw them. so sometimes Parasha gets an earful of shit that he doesn't deserve.
So, yeah, sometimes I deserve.
Yeah, well,
sometimes I'm a very hard person to work with.
You know what? At least you're both aware of your struggles. That's a great start. Like,
yeah, it's funny. Like, I think if you're not aware of it, you're like you're pathologically fucked. Like,
yeah, we're aware of it now. I don't think we always were, but yeah, recent happenings, yeah, and band tensions. We kind of became aware of it.
We've got a new drummer, Paul, but he's not here obviously because it would be illegal for him to be here. But because of lockdown, of course. But yeah, like he came into the band new, and Ashley didn't really know him that well at that time, so we're like in free fall for a while. But we're getting like so much done because he's a phenomenal drummer. But like that was an interesting period.
Yeah,
lockdown's been cool, man, in a way. You know?
yeah, so like, I mean, we talk about that a lot in these interviews. So I'm interested in how like lockdowns helped your creativity. Like I noticed that you guys have no shortness of great, wonderful ideas on how to do things. And obviously how you guys got together and your story is quite interesting. So let's start with lockdown and how it's been, positive for you, Robin.
For me? Okay. I started and quit a lot of different various projects that I started in lockdown. I'm sure lots of people are the same. I got diagnosed with ADHD twice in lockdown, just second time to make sure. And the process, I guess, of remember the start of lockdown. I interviewed every promoter. I didn't interview you. I must interview you. That'll be funny. It's in paper, but I did it last year, and at a time when people were a little bit hopeful. And we're gonna release these interviews now in March, with the addendum that okay, everything was positive then, but now everybody fucking hates each other and it's toxic as fuck. And we're gonna I'm releasing it through Not Bad. Well, we as Not Bad. You're aware of Not Bad, yeah? Yeah. So I write for them. I do marketing for them. But so we interviewed PX Music and Unseen Music and all the labels on the West Coast, and all of them had these don't worry, everything's going to be fine attitudes back in April. And now everything is fucked. And I want to think, it's so funny. So we did a Wesley Willis cover at the start of this lockdown, and that was cool. Do you know him? No? Oh, you'd love him.
Wesley Willis, yeah, that cover, that seems like ages ago.
Yeah.
That was a while ago. Yeah, that was fun.
That was the era of the toilet paper buying that time.
Oh yeah.
It had different eras. So
it has been the longest decade of my life in the space of 10 months.
Yeah, man.
Shortest.
Yeah. Holy shit. Sorry, I'm really hungover as well.
Sure, me too a little. It's kind of just an everyday kind of feeling. Well, not every day, but it's a common feeling. Just
have you been drinking much, Rebecca, yourself?
I actually technically 2 years sober, but I have in fact accidentally had a few days where I wasn't sober during lockdown because it's a very tough time. So
yeah.
In theory, I do not drink, but unfortunately, sometimes lockdown was a little bit stronger than I was.
Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah, I can understand it. In fact, I spoke to my therapist about this because I felt I was becoming an alcoholic. And she said to me, sure, everybody's a fucking alcoholic. It's lockdown. So it's like, okay, I'm going to go and drink for 4 days now. Thank you, psychiatrist, for the great advice.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
No, I drank for my birthday and I drank on New Year's. And I had the odd Bailey's coffee at Christmas, but like nothing. But yeah, I'd rather say, no, I did actually drink a little bit at this time. So I'm not technically completely sober than lie. I'm just very bad at lying.
Yeah. Well, they're two good times to drink, no? The best time?
No, I just don't think there are ever good times for me to drink.
Oh, man. Yeah, every time I drink spirits, I get in a serious heap of shit. So, like, maybe I shouldn't drink. Just might not do that. Yeah. Fuck.
So you guys met in 2014 and you're effectively like the two kind of base solid members of the band. And then everyone else inside of that kind of comes and goes and changes and wavers. But you are like the solid base.
Yeah. Do you want to elaborate, Ash?
That happen? Okay. Like, so yeah, go for it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, well, Rob formed the band. And then shortly after, I met him in Galway at an open mic night that he was hosting. We were both living in Galway at the time, and I played saxophone. I was playing saxophone at the time. And he was just like, "Do you want to be in my band?" And I was like, "Okay." And yeah, from there we just started playing music together, just jamming. You'd like show me all the songs you'd written, and I'd work out sax parts for it. And yeah, from there it was a lifetime ago. But yeah,
it's a weird time ago. Weirdly long time ago. I remember we had Declan, and we still play with Dave from time to time. Dave's a cool guy.
Oh yeah, the first bassist. He does sit in for the odd gig.
He actually has a cool band now called Space Shepherds from Belfast.
Yeah, I was talking to him yesterday actually.
Oh yeah,
he's a cool guy. Yeah, and he has his studio down in Galway is looking good.
Have you been down?
No, I just saw it on the chat. I mean, on the video call.
Ah, cool! You video called him. Very cool.
Yeah.
I must have a look.
But yeah, then after that, just the band kind of just kept going and changed and grew, and
we've been remote working for like 5 years, you know, because we haven't lived in the same place in 5 years, but we still just are able to. We work over the internet, so we just show up for a few days, practice the songs. We use a click track and stuff. So in theory, anybody could walk in or out because we're always going to be on time and everything will always run smoothly. In theory, of course, because technology can fail. Technology is our fifth member of the band or something, or fourth member. Yeah. What else has happened in that time? Yeah, loads of stuff. We've changed members, instruments, configurations, genres, languages. Yeah, we did the whole lot. Changed everything all the time.
Yeah, but the first thing I want to bring up then, and that's very interesting, is obviously this moment in time for you guys is not that difficult because you're accustomed to working remotely. So you've been able to do it. So you have a huge advantage on, let's say, Bobby Joe down the road who needs to be in a room with someone to even know what he wants to write. Like, that's brilliant. So, like, that's massive. And so
massive.
interesting, like.
Yeah. We're so used to it that it's not that interesting to us. So you know, we like, it just sort of happens. We're like trying to make our visuals. Are you a fan of Trailer Park Boys?
I wouldn't say fan, but I definitely know what it is.
Ah, fuck. Well, there's this alcoholic guy in it who's like sort of my spirit animal in a way. He's he's sort of just going about foretelling of doom and suffering while he's drunk all the time, and we've been using him as our visuals. So I want to get like his name is Jim Leahy, so I want to sort of, because he's like a slice of life that we all have a bit of Leahy in us, you know. So we've been using him in like The Network and scenes from all these dystopian films as our visuals, but we want to, every cunt and their mother's doing that, so we're sort of trying to project. I can't even describe it, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry, I'll shut up. But yeah, we're trying to make our visuals cool. Live, make good visuals live, be good band. You know?
I would think so. Like, a lot of people don't realize the importance of visuals. Like, they don't realize the importance of good lighting or a projection show or something that's actually worthwhile. Because like music is so closely related to TV shows like you just mentioned, or film or art, like all of it interlays perfectly. And then obviously one of the other things that's really interesting about you guys is you would have done a lot of your songs in Irish. Now you kind of do a hybrid of the both, or English, which is fascinating. Like I was saying to Ash earlier, I was like, I have no Irish. So like, because I didn't grow up here, I left when I was 3 and then they wouldn't let me do it when I came back when I was 14 because I was dyslexic. They were like, no Irish for you. So I love that.
Do you have any Yola?
Any what?
Do you know any Yola words now? Wait, you're not Wexford, you're Waterford. Sorry, I know they're close.
What's Yola?
Yola's a language in Wexford that used to exist up until 1910 that nobody knows about for some reason. It's very odd.
Yeah, I didn't even know about
that.
Huh?
That's fascinating. Tell me more, please.
Oh yeah, I will. It's like a combination of Middle Irish, Middle English, Old Norse, Frankish, I think. No, that wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, so it's like, because Wexford was a trading town and all the Vikings and the Franks and the fucking Irish and the Brits and everybody was there. So they had sea shanties, us Yola in this language. You should look it up. There's a song on YouTube. It's the only surviving song. So I thought, sorry, I got Waterford and Wexford mixed up.
No, it's okay. We're also a Viking town, and you know.
You're into, obviously. Have you watched Vikings this year?
No.
Have you watched the show at all?
I do not really have time for TV shows anymore. I spend my life listening to music, watching films about musicians, documentaries about music, and listening to music. Sometimes I watch shows about food because I really like food. Most of the time, I try to keep my brain completely away from brain junk. I do have one very unusual addiction, is that I adore Catfish, the TV show, because I believe everyone is lying to you on the internet, and it's very important to find out how.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's something like we
cool.
talk about that a lot, man. Catfishing. My friend got catfished a few days ago. I'll not mention him, but if you're watching this, fuck you.
Jesus.
He got, no, nothing happened to him, but he's gonna watch this too, and it's gonna be very funny. Hello. He finds it funny too, but you know. Yeah, a lot of friends of mine have added those bot accounts on Facebook, and I think it's funny as fuck. You know?
Oh yeah, the Facebook ones. I mean, they're very obvious though. Like the catfisher has to be very creative to actually fool a person, I think.
But look, I mean, even on a more basic level, everyone's lying to everyone on the internet. Like you're putting your best side out there. That's why I try make an effort to actually show as much of my life as true as possible. Like I don't just share my good days. I share all of it because I think a bit more reality out there is a positive influence on everyone. Like I'm not going to just tell everyone I'm having a great time in lockdown. There's days where I'm bawling. There's days where I'm like yesterday, as you guys saw, my kid found styrofoam and decided to cover my entire sitting room in styrofoam snow.
Yeah.
And then I wondered, are both of us going
like
to survive? Yeah, it was. And then he decided to paint the entire bathroom with toothpaste. And then I really, really wondered, was the murder-suicide pact I'd made going to happen that day? Or was I going to have to wait a little longer?
You're going to shoot up a school someday too, by the sounds of it. Sorry, I shouldn't make jokes like that.
No, but they're good jokes. I make them too. It's okay. But it's true. Like we're in a lockdown situation. I'm a single mother on my own with my kid. Like I'm very grateful that I have friends who help me out. But like days are not all gravy and fluffy. And I think the more people out there pretending that days are gravy and fluffy or pretending they're not also struggling with mental health issues or pretending that everything's okay, they're kind of catfishing the world. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like everything here is so pretty. No, it's not. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to us.
Yeah, this is true. And that creates a sort of ambient level of bullshit upon which everybody is operating. And like, you know, this is something that I was watching a video about it yesterday. I read a lot about internet addiction, and because I work as a marketer for people, I have to be ethically aware of the horrible things that are behind the curtain of what I'm actually doing. I don't like it, but if I don't do it, I'm fucked. So this, you know, there's no other way of looking at it for me. And but you see these when people lie about their actual day-to-day on the internet. Facebook is notorious for it. Instagram's really bad for it too, but you're setting yourself up for an even bigger failure when you fail every time, because you've gotten all this vacuous attention and rewards for things that are of zero value. And then you when you actually fail in real life, you fall off an even bigger ladder, I guess, because you've been pumped up full of shit for so long. So yeah, I totally agree. Be honest, you have to be honest. Jesus Christ. Like honesty is the thing I value the most, I think. Costs it's more painful at the start. You know, it's the upfront costs of being honest are bigger, but it's cheaper overall, to be honest, I've found, you know.
Oh yeah. I'm not very liked because I'll just tell people stuff to their face. Like they, you know, people actually very rarely want to know what you think. Like they'll ask you, but like they don't really want to know. Like that's why my friends are solid, because they know if they ask me, they're gonna know. Like
they don't look through you like you're a ghost. Yeah, interesting. Cool.
But also you guys are really interesting because you have this BIM playlist and this BIM record label joke that you like to run with. And I think that's fascinating because a lot of people who are from outside of Dublin understand. A lot of people who are in that golden circle don't necessarily understand the difficulties and the challenges that are attributed to that.
Ashley will be able to tell more about that because he's actually semi-living in Dublin now.
No, not anymore. I mean, I was in Dublin until like the pandemic hit, and then I moved back to Mayo just because no point paying high rent when I can't even go to class or go out. But yeah, like the college I was in IADT doing a music course, and you know, everyone kind of jokes about BIM students, and you know, everyone has opinions about BIM. And it's just like, if you're not in BIM, you feel like an outsider, I guess. You know, you're not in this exclusive club. So
well, we've been joking about that for fucking 4 years or something, haven't we?
Yeah.
We even made a video because, like, you know, we didn't get accepted to some fucking thing, and a load of BIM bands did, and like if we were more sensitive, we could have taken that the wrong way, but instead we made fun of ourselves not getting it, because if you're not laughing, you're crying, kind of thing, you know. So what the fuck am I trying to say? But our drummer Shane at the time, who's no longer with us, he
Oh yeah,
he left a good while ago. He was actually in BIM, and
he was.
he taught us a lot of survival traits, because me and Ashley are heavily disorganized. But Shane's influence, even though he's not in the band anymore, has lived on, because we were unable to do anything until he came along. Because I don't know, I'm disorganized. I'm a terrible band leader, like awful. So I don't know, I'm just disorganized mess. So Shane's influence was so gelling. It was like having a parent walk in and help you clean out your room and all. Like,
yeah, he was very organized, and he did organize a whole tour, well, mini tour, one year.
Oh man, I wish we could pay somebody like him to just do all that shit, man. Holy shit!
Well, a manager.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got money for that.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we should look into it. Maybe if we had a manager, we'd make money, and then we could pay him 50% of something rather than 0% of nothing.
Most managers do tend to work on commission basis, so like that would be the smart ploy, maybe.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, finding someone we could trust though, would be I don't know, because getting stung by I don't know, like a PR company, for example, it sucks.
Oh yeah, we got stung really bad by, and I'm mentioning them by name now because I can, thank God. So we got stung by High Violet PR. They work on and I don't even give a fuck who sees it. Fuck them. They stung us on a. Holy shit, man! I could go on about it for days, but I'm at the point now where it's like, you know, we can't really do anything about it because they run on a broken clock system, is what I'm calling it. So we gave these assholes $1,000, and they did nothing, or what appears to be nothing. So I don't even want to, like, so they've run successful campaigns. They don't write their own PR press release package or whatever. They just use whatever you give them. They didn't even write anything specific, because the blogs they sent it to posted them raw on the site as if it was an article. So the electronic press package, they didn't even make one. They got mad when I inquired what they were doing, and then they cut off the fucking campaign 2 weeks early because I complained, and they have cut contact since. But the broken clock system is they have contacts, so they send out this your PR, your one that you write, sort of like they send blast it to 100 whatever contacts, and some of them will invariably hit, and that's enough to keep them going to the next victim. But sometimes their campaigns actually work. So it works once in a while, just enough to keep them above water. And there are just much better options than them out there. You've got Lazy Bones in Belfast, and you've got, anyway, I wish I went with anyone fucking else. You know, it's a red flag when they contact you. And I was in a stressful situation. And as we just talked about, organization outside of yourself takes away a lot of stress, and it makes it easier to do all the other things which you deem important. We thought we were doing that, and we end up running ads then because they did such a fucking terrible job. They damaged our advertising campaign that we were running ourselves. That's how bad they are. They actually fucked the whole thing up. So you can choose to delete that part of what I just said if you want, but fuck them.
Luckily for everyone at home, I don't have the tools to edit videos right now. So, I think it's good to publicly sometimes talk about these things because a lot of people don't understand what happens in PR situation. For instance, like I'd have a lot of bands that I would help with EPKs. I don't get paid. I do it from the goodness of my heart because I know this is a very, very difficult time. Like I'm not in this for the money. I understand that everyone deserves to be seen. And if there's a band out there that's struggling, I'll at least give them the advice if they send me their I'll also send it on to anyone I know who might be able to help them or who might like their music. Like, I just cannot fathom that there's companies out there making $1,000 for doing something that I do out of kindness. Like, that is just.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time, I understand why they would want money because if you're doing it for like 20 bands at once, it's time consuming. There's value in the job. It's just, I just, there's bad.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that I don't deserve to get paid. I'm very, very grateful.
Oh, you do? I think you deserve to get paid.
Helps me or whatever, but at the same time, I wouldn't be taking $1,000 off anyone to copy and paste their EPK and send it further for it to be yet again copy and pasted by other people to then be released and not help. Like, I just think that's crazy. I had no idea that was going on.
Yeah, it's crazy. They organized our actual release date and then forgot that they'd picked that date, and we had to actually organize our own premiere. That's how bad they were. It was like, holy fuck. Turnstiles are working with them right now. Actually, I don't know how. It's probably going well for them because they have a bit of fire under them at the minute. But yeah, I'd say that would be what I would deem a broken clock model. So it works twice a day, right? It works correctly twice a day. So yeah, that's all I have to say on that matter. I'm sorry for derailing the conversation in that direction.
I'm all about the meandering conversations. I find them fascinating. So this whole model is working very well for me, but I will move on swiftly to how fascinating I find your remix that you're doing at the moment. I think that's amazing. I think it's absolutely amazing that you guys are actually finding a way to put content out there using other people that you know that are good at what they do and making a show out of it. Talk to me about that.
Well, I actually, so that's going to come to an end soon enough. There's a really big thing happening with that I'm very proud of organizing. I haven't even fucking told Ashley, so buckle up, motherfucker. So basically, with the artists that are on it are too numerous nearly to mention, but I have them written here. So we have, I'm not going to list them off, but I'll mention a few of them. So Shaman Deli, are you aware of them?
Yeah.
So he's going to be the lead remix off of the album that's coming out. So the album is going to be in aid of the direct provision situation in Letterkenny. So 2 years ago, a direct provision center was burnt down in Donegal. It wasn't actually a direct provision center, but it was marked to be one. And there's a lot of fascism on the rise in Letterkenny and in Donegal in general. It's a breeding ground for it. So you've got Niall McConnell and all of these fascist fucks. They're sort of, they give away a free paper through the door, through your door, and basically they're handing out all this fucked up misinformation. But it led to somebody burning down a hotel because they hate brown people, basically. And there's a lot of pushback against the direct provision center in Letterkenny now, and they're capitalizing on that. So we're going to put this remix record out sort of to raise awareness against the propaganda for a start, but just to raise some money so that they can just have some nice things when they arrive, so that the welcoming situation is a bit better. They might actually be here. I've been working so hard on the actual product that I'm actually out of touch now with the actual cause. So I need to think about it a bit more. But one of the vocalists I got in to help finish the remix that I'm doing for Shaman Deli her name is Tara Mooney, and her name is the Clumsy Giantess. That's her artist name, but she sounds like Portishead and a little bit of Massive Attack in there. And she has actually worked with direct provision before. I just found it, so it's very interesting. She's going to help me sort of connect the people with whom she was working in Leitrim with. She's going to try and help me make the thing better. Basically, I'm lost for words on it because I haven't actually formulated my full idea on this project, but it's just getting there day by day. Like, but I'm working on it every day. So we've got New Pope on it. We've got Junk Drawer. We've got Robo Cobra Quartet, Post Punk Podge, fucking Happy Out, Kessler Effect. Launch Machine will be on there. Elaine Howley from the Altered Hours has said she would give some stems over. We've got Messing. I don't know if you know them. They're nutters. And Tombs. Have you heard Tombs? A metal band from Limerick. Check them out. They're excellent. Very, very big sounds out of them. And we've got Cruiser on there as well. Theirs is one of the best ones as well. So there's about 15 songs, and I've been working really hard on the actual compositions, and they're actually so close to being ready. I'll be able to think better about the promotional element of it then. I think we're going to try and rope a PR company into doing it for cheap, hopefully, because of the nature of the thing. Because I want to raise as much money as is possible. I've got a few guitars and things that I'm going to give to the Direct Provision Center, but I would have to get it tested first before I give it, because it could be dangerous and I don't want to kill anybody. That would be terrible. So yeah, so that's the whole spiel about that I'm currently aware of. I was only updated on it last night when I was drinking, so my head's a bit hazy on the issue. So there you go with that.
That's amazing. That's an incredible idea to use your remixes that are already fantastic and raise money and aid like a direct provision center, like in a time that is very necessary, because very few people are talking about that. But obviously we had the whole Massey movement and everyone was donating their things to that. And then what happened to that? Like we just forgot about that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, actually the lady, thanks for mentioning that, because the lady that with whom we're collaborating, Tara, she actually knows one of the guys that is the head of Massey. So she's going to organize that. Well, she's not going to organize anything. She's just going to put me in contact with them, and I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to run with it then, hopefully. So yeah, it's a little bit disorganized, but the horizon is getting easier to see, I guess. You know? So that. Ashley finding out for the first time too. I don't like burdening him because he's in college. But when summer comes, I'll be annoying him every single day, hopefully.
Oh yeah, I knew part of that, yeah, but not the whole story.
Well, thank you for discovering this exclusive with me, Ashley.
Yeah. I sort of go on autopilot, like, because I'm so disorganized. I just do bits and pieces all the time until something is there, you know. I guess sometimes he's as surprised as I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually the main thing I wanted to talk about with regards or what we're at, because it's actually taking up a large portion of my life at the minute. So I'm glad I got that out there. Now I was stressed out thinking about, well, am I going to get the details wrong and all that shit? But I probably did. So
I know you didn't even know about that, so we did a very good job together, Rob. I'm very happy that that's done. Let's move on to the next question. So, Ashley, you haven't talked very much, so I'm going to start with you this time. Okay. I'd be interested in hearing about gig memories. Sorry, a black cat just walked past my window. I was checking if it was mine. It is not mine. He's been missing for 4 days.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh,
okay.
Shit, man.
We got a kitten. They don't get on.
He'll come back.
Yeah.
He'll come back.
Yeah.
He'll come back.
Yeah. You know, Braggy, named after the Viking god of poetry and music. I thought I was doing really well getting myself a cat that was 4 and he'd be fine. Didn't really like my child. That was one thing. My child wanted his own cat. They got on for a while. Now the kitten is annoying Braggy. So Braggy just takes off for 4 days on end. And I just be like... Then he comes into the house and he wants to attack us all. He's very unhappy. Like, I don't know how to fix this. I've tried cooking him chicken fillets, giving him steak. I've tried everything. I've tried locking him in the house. He gets worse. Then you have to leave him out because he's swiping for you. So, I do miss him. But that's really not part of the question. So Terribly sorry.
No, it's a fucking fun. Can you get him neutered though? Get the cunt neutered. He needs to be neutered.
He was neutered. See, I got him, he was 4 years old. I got him, he was 4 years old, and he loved me, did not want to be out of the house, loved me. And then, I don't know, it's a year on now, and he's just off doing his own thing.
Ah, well, sure, he might come back with a nice girl and settle down. And,
Yeah.
They're not meant to come back when they have a nice girl and settle down. They're meant to stay away.
Oh, shit. Oh, it's noisy too, Jesus.
So Ash, I like to talk about venues and gigs. So like, are there venues and gigs that you have great memory of, or is there anything like you want to talk about? It could be your gig, could be a gig that you just attended and really enjoyed. Because I think it's important to kind of remind people about live music, because you know it is a thing. Like it's not just a distant memory. Like it's actually something we all enjoyed once.
Yeah.
It's coming back. Don't worry.
We'll enjoy again, hopefully. Yeah, soon. Geez, yeah. Let's see. We did the Arcadian Fields Festival a few years ago, and that was a lot of fun. Like a small boutique kind of festival. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the massive festivals because they're kind of overwhelming and you get lost and tickets are crazy expensive. But
and the toilets.
The toilets, oh God. Yeah. And just deciding who you want to go see. But the small ones, like the little boutique festivals where it's you and your friends and you know half the bands there and it's just great crack. And you discover lots of new Irish bands, like up and coming acts that you haven't seen before. So yeah, I have fond memories of Arcadian Field and Swell Festival up in Donegal. On what island is that on, Rob?
Ardmore
Island. Yeah, it's a really cool festival called Swell, where you get a ferry onto the island.
Yeah, that's over now, but it was good at the time, I have to say. Do you remember our gig in Aris na Gael those years ago?
What's that? You cut out.
Do you remember the gig in Aris na Gael?
Aris na Gael, yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Was that our worst gig ever?
I think so.
Oh man. Yeah. Just imagine a gig in the worst room possible with the worst acoustics and everything goes wrong.
And nobody showed up. Well, actually, a good few people showed up in the end after we were nearly done and all. Oh shit.
A few people showed up. But I wish they didn't. I wish nobody was there because we played out of tune.
That's right.
There was no effects on the PA system, so the vocals were dry. No reverb.
Like we depend on technology like so hard for like ambient soundscapes. So when we didn't have them, we just sound like shit, man. You know. So
yeah. It's like when the Edge turns off his pedal effects, and it's just like strum. Well, it's not that bad, but bit of washy delay and reverb makes everything sound good.
Yeah, it makes everything a lot easier on the ears, I find.
But the night after that gig, we played an excellent gig in what's the name of the venue? There was another venue in Galway. Yeah,
it's gone.
Club K or something.
Yeah.
But we killed it that night, I think, comparatively. I mean, we couldn't get any worse.
Well, yeah, actually, anything was better than the night before. Holy shit. How long ago was that?
Yeah.
2016 or something? Holy shit.
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, time's gone by really quickly, man. We haven't played a gig in over a year. This is crazy.
Was it a year or two? Because we kind of already...
No, we played a year and a bit ago since we played live. We were working on our set, like making it more flashy and shit, because we just wanted it to be better and more engaging. And because we rewrote most of our songs for live, because when they're being put down, it's often just me and Ashley. So when you introduce new members into the band to play, you kind of want them to be able to express themselves too, even if they're not in the band permanently or whatever. They tend to show up, and we can give them space to play their own flavors, and we have a jam section live and all. But I can't remember why I said that. Why the fuck did I say
that? Talking about gigs and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's why you took a break, because you wanted to
make
make sure it was better.
Yeah, we're working on our live set, and I think we were planning on doing lots of gigs in 2020, and then
yeah,
the world had a different plan.
Yeah, because like we released that tune with Post Punk Proj, and it did pretty well. Like, so we wanted to capitalize on that, and then any hope of that was fucked after 40 days.
Well,
yeah. Podge is a good man. You should have Podge on here someday. Have you had him on yet?
I've asked.
I'll get on to him. Oh no.
I'll get him on.
I'll get him on. Well, fine.
Well, gunpoint. No, he's a great guy. Fuck.
Yeah, he seems really, really interesting. I think it would be a great interview, but I've enjoyed all my interviews. Like, I don't take it badly if someone says no, it doesn't get back to me. Like, it's just, there's so many incredible Irish artists out there. Like, I have a wealth of people to be talking to. Like, it's great.
Yeah,
there are.
Thank you for having us on. It's we've been in contact with you for 4 years, have we? I remember. Maybe you weren't part of Viking at the time.
No.
It was 2017. I think we spoke to Viking first. I think, and then you started doing interviews at the start of last year, if I remember.
Yeah, March 20th, I did my first interview.
That's my birthday.
Woo!
Oh, I shouldn't have said that on the internet. That's credit card shit there.
Let's bleep that one.
Bleep. Yeah, no, but look, it's like, so it just took many shapes. Like, I didn't expect I'd ever be back in promotion, like, because I'd taken a break myself, and then all of a sudden here I am. So and this is very different to what I do. I liked being crew and unseen. Like, I was not really meaning to be a public figure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that's what it is now.
Well, fuck it. Like, the lighting you had at Cypress Avenue was very cool. Like, who's responsible for that? The lighting?
His name is Manny Loosely. He's amazing. He's the lighting engineer in Cypress Avenue, but he also works like in the Opera House and loads of other places. I'll send you on his details after this, and you can actually contact him directly, because he's incredible. He's one of the best lampies I've ever worked with. He's a fascinating person.
Yeah, he seems really, really good. We have zero lighting. We just use projectors because it's easier and more mobile and less stress. You can turn an old projector into a small laser show as well, which is actually kind of cool. It's free software. I'm not going to go into that. I don't know. Sorry, my meandering brain wandered.
No, I really like your meandering brain, Rob. Don't ever regret being who you are. I think you're just perfect the way you are. So I guess we're going to ask about local artists and people you'd recommend listening to. But before I get to that, which will be the last question, just to give you a bit of a brain understanding, we would like to talk about how you guys discovered your craft. So how did you guys become yourselves? So, like, Ashley, how did you pick up the trumpet? Rob, how did you end up being all the things you are?
You go, Ash, first.
Me? Well, when I was a kid, started learning piano lessons at childhood. But then I gave it up for years. And then when I was like a teenager, I picked up guitar. And then when I was in my 20s, I picked up the saxophone, kind of just by accident, because my dad got a saxophone from Lidl or Aldi, or when they were like, when they do their instruments every once in a while. So he wanted to play it, but he didn't. And then I just picked it up and I was like, hey, I can get a note out. So I just kept playing and got a little bit better, and then eventually met Rob. And then more recently, I've gotten really big into synths and electronic music and stuff. Just over the years, learning how to produce music, how to work synthesizers and stuff. So now my role in the band has actually changed from just saxophone player to saxophone / synths.
Slash tech.
Yeah,
I think we're both engineering as well at this point. Everybody in the band has to chip into the sound engineering now. It's really handy.
Yeah, and I said trumpet because obviously there's something wrong in my meandering brain as well. So no, saxophone. I do know the difference. Like, my brain just fried for a minute. Like,
I understand. Yeah, man, it's cool.
I knew what you meant. I did dabble in trumpet. But yeah,
You played trumpet once live with us. There's a picture of you at Arcadian Field.
Actually, it was actually at Arcadian Field.
We
I
ripped the
didn't play it
piss out
well,
of
but
Radiohead.
I could blast a note. Oh yeah, we did this big Radiohead jam. It was great crack.
Yeah, like we're solid.
Yeah, that's me. That's my story.
Good man.
Yeah, I've had another band, like a local band, and the two festivals they enjoyed the most that they were talking about were at, well, to me personally, not in an interview, Swellfest and Arcadian Field. So I think it's funny that it comes back to those because I hadn't thought about either of those in a while. So it's fascinating as well that there are smaller festivals that allow like such coolness. Like,
there's loads of them. There's a lot of underground ones, man, that you won't even hear about. Like Skrabarna. We had a bad experience there, but you could see how good experiences could occur there also. So I don't want to judge them because we had a bad experience, but well, it's because it was illegally run. Like, so it was an illegal rave, which is great because it meant that the fucking cops weren't there and everybody was just freely dealing drugs and all. It was wonderful. But as you can imagine, that could result badly. But yeah, there was a lot of technical issues and also remember that up till 5 o'clock in the morning to play a gig at 5 o'clock in the morning to a bunch of fried onions, man. Everybody was fried at that. Holy fuck. Sorry, I'm away again. Sorry.
I think your brain and my brain are quite similar, so it doesn't seem too weird to me. Like most of people watching my interviews are like, why is she talking about X now? We were just on Z. Like, so it's normal.
That's good. I'm glad of it. Be accepted.
No, it's cool, really cool. And I'm also really good at bringing us back to where we need to be, or I think I am anyway. So my question to you then, now that Ashley's answered, was how did you discover your craft?
I used to be drawing and when I was 11 and I was always like a little shit and I always thought I was the best. And then I discovered I wasn't the best at it. And I was like, oh, fuck, I better do something that I'm actually good at. So I was given a guitar. I was actually forced to play the guitar because I gave it up. And my uncle was like, play the fucking guitar. And so I did. And then that was that. And then we got on very well after that. So I thank him to this day, obviously, for that, because it was what I needed. Somebody needed to force something on me. So I did that. And then I don't like, I'm not going to complain, but I got let down a bunch of times. So I had to learn how to play drums, and then I had to learn to be a vocalist, and then I had to learn how to produce, and blah, 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 until Ashley. And, the development was hard. But Primus got me through all of it. They're like one of my favorite bands, Primus and Limp Bizkit, I think. So I steal from them regularly, and I steal from Stereolab regularly. So my development was basically needs must in every way, I would say. And because I was bad at the thing I thought I was good at, so I realized I was naturally adept at music. So I just went with that. So that's my story.
That is an unusual story. Most people would be like, oh, I'm just going to keep going at this thing. And especially like, you're like, oh, well, I had to learn drums because I got let down. Most people would be like, oh, well.
Yeah.
So fair play.
I don't work that way, man. Yeah. So yeah, I hope that's adequate. But yeah, I find that, as you were saying earlier about honesty and like straight up, tell you to your face thing. My uncle was very much in that way. So I think everybody should have somebody like that in their lives. Just as an aside, I like to, honesty is just so important. That's just something I'd like to preach. So I'm preaching it right now. Sorry about that.
No, I agree. I think if everyone was honest, yeah, it'd be uncomfortable at first because we're not used to it. But in the long run, my God, would we all benefit? Yeah. We wouldn't have to walk on eggshells or be worried. Like, I particularly detest the ego stroke that seems to go along with people, where people are like, oh, well, I would like to be popular. Therefore, I will say one thing to your face. Oh, this is Swiss saying, actually. So I used to go to boarding school in Switzerland and I had a nun there, and it translates like this. So it's like, I hate people who stroke your back to your face but spit in your face from behind.
That's cool. I like that. So you're like, you're lived in Switzerland for a while. Why?
Yeah.
What was the story there?
Well, my parents left Waterford when I was 3 because it was the 80s, and they went to pursue careers in the UN. And I came back when I was 14 to live in Ireland by myself. And I have been here ever since. And they have retired in France and are very happy.
Whoa, that's intense as fuck. Jesus. Cool.
Yeah.
Fair fucks to you.
Cool
Do you
story.
speak Swiss German? Do you?
I speak Swiss German and French and Italian and a bit of Japanese and obviously English.
Fair fucks to you, hey.
Same as you, like I couldn't have people not understand me in every single language. At one point I was trying to teach myself how to say I love you in every single language in the world, but I gave up on that mission a while ago.
A few people did that actually at the beginning of lockdown, as far as I remember. Yeah, that was cool. It's cool. Like, that's an interesting background, man. Switzerland's interesting to me. I don't know anything about it, you see.
Oh, it's very interesting. We can totally continue those Switzerland conversations off camera.
Okay, yeah.
It's not very often people ask about me in the interviews, though. So, you know, here we are.
Okay. Well, okay, sorry.
No. I'm honored that you're interested.
Well, look.
So then the last question before I let you guys go and allow you to say anything that I've missed or that you want to add to the interview, obviously, what local artist would you recommend? And when I say local, we all know that I mean Irish. It can be anywhere on our green island. Is there anyone that you'd say, oh, Rebecca, you really need to listen to this person, or I've been listening to this person a lot? Who would you say? And it's okay if you forget people. Nobody's at home like waiting for you to say me, so don't be panicked or like upset or, you know.
Well, I would like to actually just shout out to Problem Patterns and the Belfast crew in general, like the Thin Airheads, because we were on a compilation release with a long fucking list of bands that I don't have on hand right now. But for the compilation it was called Bangers and Breakups. It's curated by Problem Patterns, and basically it was in the money. It was in aid of She Sells Sanctuary, which is a women's center in Belfast. I think it's an abuse center or something. I don't really know. I read it at the time. I was like, I believe in this. I will agree with this. I will go with this. So my other band, Lunch Machine, was on it as well. I would say, you know, shout out to everybody on that compilation, and thanks to Problem Patterns and the Junk Drawer Heads. And I would say of the bands in Ireland, there's a really good artist called Fomorian Vain that I really admire. He's an electronic artist, and Percolator are cool. Junk Drawer, Happy Out, Kessler Effect. New Pope is a band that I didn't expect I would actually like until I started listening to him in 2016. And I got so enamored with him. Like, I normally don't like acoustic music at all, but this motherfucker broke that for me. And I've been producing him ever since, actually. So, yeah, it's just great to work with him. So this New Pope, this Happy Out in Letterkenny, this Kessler Effect in Letterkenny, this Dirty Faces in Derry, the Barbiturates in Derry. There's just so fucking many. But right now, the band I listen to the most in general is Death Grips. So anything that sounds like that gives me good vibes.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So what about you, Ash? You've got a
me. Well, I always struggle to think of things in the moment, so I'm gonna forget a bunch of shit. But yeah, shout out to my classmate Ethan Zeus, who his artist name is Julia Louise Knifefist.
Fucking Julia Louise Knifefist is awesome.
Yeah, he's kind of like, you know, noise music, glitch hop, kind of Death Gripsy, but you know, so he's really cool, and he's friends with Fomorian Vain too. And I've got this Spotify playlist of just Irish artists that I just added to the list because I liked them. You know, bands like Cruiser, Alina Felice, Just Mustard. Who's that guy from Cork? Yankee.
Yankee is amazing.
Yeah, I really like his
yeah.
music. Really reminds me of.
I love that song. Are You Okay? Like, isn't that what it's called?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. His music is cool. Like when I first heard him, I was like, "Wow, this is really good." Is this guy Irish?
Oh yeah.
Because it reminded me of Unknown Mortal Orchestra a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots. There's so many cool Irish artists.
There's
Pillow Queen, really
Arthritis as well. Arthritis.
cool.
No,
Arthritis. I haven't heard him.
He's putting out hilarious music. He sounds like Ween. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
Ween. Oh yeah, we're massive Ween fans. Just such a versatile band. And their
We
genre.
copy their vibe. We steal from them.
You just keep claiming that you're stealing from anyone, but like I think music appropriation is quite normal and commonly done. Most people just aren't so upfront about it.
Yeah, like fuck, like there's no escaping it. Just steal it. Take it all. You know?
Yeah, it would at least be like, okay, you did inspire me. I won't say I robbed it, but you inspired me. Like, I hate when people like just take my ideas and then pretend they had them all along and I'm going mental. Like, I have people tell me stuff like that. Be like, no, but like, you clearly are taking something I told you, like about what I was doing, and now going and doing it. That's not being inspired. That's robbing.
Yeah, no, I have experience with that, but I'm not at liberty to say who did it to me, but they fucking don't.
Oh yeah. I know who he's talking about, but I won't say them either.
Did off camera someday, maybe.
Yeah, no, look, we're gonna talk off camera in a minute. So the last question, which is usually who knows what gems are gonna come out here, is there anything you guys would like to add to the interview before I stop recording?
I don't know.
Follow us on fucking Spotify and Instagram, and
It's a good one, Rob.
Smash that like button, yeah.
Smack that fucking like button. Smash it. Get it. I don't know, man. Yeah, we've interesting content on IG all the time, so go there and
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
check out
these
our
guys
Instagram.
are really, really fascinating. They're very inventive, creative. Their music is just very unusual and special, even though they keep robbing off everyone. And their IG content is hilarious. I loved Ash's video the other day about conspiracy theorists. I think everyone should go watch it. They're brilliant. They're great. This has been Tuath. I'm going to stop recording now. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye,
Thanks for having
motherfuckers.
us. Bye-bye.